Championship ball. We think that from the
they obviously experience leaving with next. It's whether on that point even
fair enough. It's less drop that they had kind of this
just gone to. I think they have time, and I think free now they're not going to stay up if they want, or they would need. Just can't see him doing that. I mean, as we say, and I think they lose that, and if they lose that or that, then that's so they've done what they said. They've drawn there. I think for Charlton, similar to Toronto, always in the season back in, but to survival job that I just done. Yeah. Because kind of not. I think the playoff. I have to say, it's clever. You know, your favourite team. They've actually got this week. I'm not sure, and I so obviously whole job. Yeah, that's what again. Fair play to him. They've done quite a good job. Worry about. I think 4 points guaranteed. So, and again, good luck to get there.
Next,
into you got, man. Yeah, and just quick. I mean, again, single season, which is so.
oh,
Yeah. I don't. Every season, they must have different managers.
remember when you first started shows, Bez, Middlesbrough, you were saying Middlesbrough, Coventry.
Yeah. Well, like I thought, like they've got a Swedish manager in charge who's done really well. I just thought, you know what? Optimism stop them from, if you like, falling away. Really thought there's got to be something in that.
Yeah,
Something that
can't get them out of that. Not.
Well, like, again, I agree. What I'd say is, I mean, you know, they're obviously, but and I mean, generally getting that as a share. I've obviously said that I think they'll get a second. That's still they've got. I think Southampton, and that's what gets a second.
I think whatever they're getting the, I'm saying
they're up.
Out and you, I will say teams that get Southampton the high.
Again, I wouldn't. You obviously don't know, but I think they charge all, and they've got a win at when only
I think the and Millwall.
Eggs and then Millwall. I know that. I mean, I do. I get it. We've had a bad. To be fair, last time. Why the
same with. I don't. West Brom versus West. I predict they up. You don't get like for Ipswich previous to that, and then another win. So West Brom chats. I'll see going.
Yeah, I've got to the Ipswich in the game. Yeah, they're sat there. I think for in the space of like months or whatever it is, sacked in. They were, and I just thought, you know, they're starting for a no experience in the win results, and Morrison, you know, hats off to him. He's doing. I'd like to, Brom fans, would you want to give it the full time, or I mean, we can look at the result. We can say he's done a good job and given a chance. Great footballer. I think once well, very good. It's below Ipswich. I mean, against Middlesbrough. Ipswich to revive their top two. I know they're still in the ball. Please, they're not. I just think it's a good time to go and a bit the fixtures on with things are against teams. Preston's not on good fourth bottom. Bristol bottom. Mid-table. I think it's a good side of the division. So this is from
go down now as if to get points deducted. That's it. Pure and simple. And that I couldn't predict that. I couldn't predict
I get that.
What the performances they're doing, and I said I'm backing them at least.
How long answer for it?
I don't think Blackburn have. I mean, West Brom have gone. When we had this discussion, Blackburn were way above West Brom, if you remember. Now West Brom,
above them, yeah.
I told you they would finish above them, and they have now.
I said, and you that Blackburn would finish with West Brom.
I said West Brom because you look at the things: drawn, lost, drawn. No, it's not the sort of form that West Brom have shown. And also,
I get your point,
I get what you're saying, but but don't forget when we were having discussion, I think West Brom was second bottom.
I think they were third. They were in bottom three. They were in bottom. That's you. I think Blackburn were like fifth bottom, and you thought that they're the team who, because there's always a team who tend to drop down from mid or from whatever. And I think you thought Blackburn. The reason I didn't think Blackburn went down, it was actually to manage. I just feel that Michael O'Neill.
Well, they have dropped down. They are fourth bottom now. You were saying.
I know they are, but yeah. going down there, I'd say. Like, I mean, this bottom now.
If you look,
that's
yeah,
still
but
no
if you
Vino's
looked at the fixtures, if Leicester would have got the points we predicted, bottom three now, without a shadow of a doubt. But we can't predict Leicester would be this shit. You can't predict that. I can't believe how bad Leicester are.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Anyway, you've gone. Yeah, we'll go on to the next one. So where I've come out with a 3-1 victory, I don't know. I've just got a feeling that the duo win Birmingham. I mean, drew the last game, won previous to that, but prior to that, they had 3 losses on the trot. I think they've been very disappointed to say, you know, they've got a lot of money, and I expected them to be above Wrexham. I've been challenging at least the playoffs, but they've been nowhere near it. They've been miles off. But for me, Birmingham have been. I don't think Bristol City at all in the Championship. I just think they're a middle of the road team. When they go away, they're all. And one of them, big crowd. I think the fans behind them.
Yeah, so I've only gone 0-0. Obviously, Bristol City's running at the minute. Conceded as many goals now.
Yeah, fair, I mean, yeah, you've got me there. I forgot that. That's me. Knowledge there.
But to be fair, though, something that you missed, Bristol City's last game 4 to concede, and that's why I think it'll be 0-0. Birmingham as well. 52 goals scored, 53 conceded. 1 goal, scored and 1 goal against. You don't score a lot. So
I think if they want to get promoted next season and they're going to the manager, I think the guy that's got promotions out of in the Championship where they got but he finish mid-table, maybe even below. That's not really acceptable for the level of investment that Birmingham have seen over the couple of years. So for me, if they want a progression, I think I say thank you. This season has been great. Thanks for the memories, and we will get somebody in. Been there, done it. Yeah.
I think I agree with you. I mean, still, then I don't think Birmingham fans can complain too much because they still want a cancer, and they've still had a promotion from, and he's stuck into the table. They have had a lot of investment. The team last year that won, I would have thought they were in the top 6 this year, and they've been through that side. So yeah, I think that squad is.
I mean, 7, and probably with Wrexham. I mean, they finished above Wrexham, didn't they, last year? They won the league. So
exactly, yeah,
so
exactly.
By considerable, it's a bit embarrassing. Realistic, and who also aren't a million miles behind.
And what about that, by the way? Is this the first season?
So again, Norwich are at last chance saloon. They've picked up a bit of form. They had one blip in that where they lost. Been on prior to that loss. Swansea, another team, waste of space in the Championship. Hover around the table, quite shit down, not good enough above a mid play for. I think not still at Arbor hopes. They won the last game. If they win midweek as well, fully seen.
2-0 as well for Norwich.
Oh, I don't know what I've done with these scores, man. Rushing about. We double checked them as well.
I know. I don't know what's happened, to be fair, but yeah, so I even checked my scores, so I don't know what's happened. Anyway, I've gone 2-0 as well. I'll be quick on this one. There's not a lot to talk about. Norwich started off poorly, got the new manager in. He's done incredible. They've left it too late, as Lee says. They're not going to get playoffs. Even if they won all 3 games, that gives them 70 points. Hull need 2 points to go above that. So, yeah, unfortunately, Norwich season's over. But look forward to next season, because I think you'll be challenging top 2. I really do. Swansea, like Lee said, a bit of a boring side, always mid-table. Never like going down, never like going up. Can't see it changing next. I mean, what about Swansea? I think that Swansea could potentially, so the team fighting for the top early Championship to get into the Premier League. Over time, they started drifting and getting lower and lower, and then they were in like a relegation battle for something like 3 or 4 years in a row, and eventually they went down. I think that could happen to Swansea. There's a few teams it could happen to, but I think Swansea could happen to them.
Yeah, I mean, in the Premier League long ago, and I think Swansea are a bigger club than Cardiff. Accepted, we're just a mid-table team, and like you said, that becomes very dangerous, because a summer of bad recruitment can then it drops you from mid-table to the bottom half, and that's when you start fighting for your life. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Potentially see that happening. There's
a few teams, there's a few you could see happening too, couldn't you? Really?
Yeah, you got Bristol City. I think they're another one. Charlton, I think they'll struggle again next season. They're struggling this season. I think as well, Preston are going to be that does
100%. Yeah,
they were challenging playoffs the season before. They've gradually
only it's because Oxford are like 5 points adrift. I mean, if you took Blackburn,
so they struggle. It's a real shame, because I think Rotherham are a similar Preston. They're a bit of a like from sort of Rotherham that you can actually challenge the Championship, because they were getting stable. Then off seem to now have a shock here, because I'm going to go Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah, this is not an. This is not that Wednesday will beat us
as well.
He's Wednesday.
I haven't paid. So last 3 games for Oxford are pretty bad. I think they're pretty poor. Hasn't got the team. Manager is good enough to keep, but I don't think the team is actually good enough to keep itself up. And I think Oxford, unless West Brom get a points deduction, are going down. I think the bottom 3, that's the bottom, will end up the bottom. I'm going for a Sheffield Wednesday win. I think they'll win this game 2-1. I think they do a win. 3 draws against decent teams. I mean, you can't do better than drawing the team that's going to away, drawing with them. Around the bottom, they desperately had to beat Sheffield Wednesday. They couldn't beat them as well. It just seems they're going to win. Like I said, my feelings known about get that next season in League One, and they should never be a League One. I believe Wednesday football. I believe they're a Premier League football. Premier League. They've got the family. The EFL have not backed the club, and they're wanting to give money to the guy that has mismanaged them. an utter disgrace. And I think points deducted this season, they'd have probably gone down without deduction, to be fair, because he did. He stripped them of all their best players because he stripped them of their assets. So to dead points deduction.
Yeah, so I mean, what I would say about this game, Oxford do have for them.
For me, they're not.
I mean, there is. I mean, to Rotherham, they've at least they've tried to stop up. They've brought in a bit of never do that. Ownership or a drift actually. Quite, and where 50 points to stay up, you're going to need 46, 47, which is probably a bit of a shame for that. The in the I had any sack that decision he could have made. That guy to let's go down. I mean, again, that bad. We get to be. They've still got us.
I can't skip. They've just won at, and now too far.
Because for a game with a free, they're still miles adrift. So Oxford have got a better squad. Jerry Yates, he scores goals. Jerry Yates relies on. When did it create chances?
It was Oxford got up front.
Well, I won't go through their full side. I mean, Oxford's best two players for me.
I think Sheffield Wednesday got a better team than Oxford.
Oxford has scored like 41 goals to Sheffield Wednesday's 26.
Yeah, but
I don't think you can just base it on how many fans you get. For me, you've got to base it on like attendances. You've got to base it on history, league standing. No, I'd say a League One side, yeah.
No,
I would.
not.
League One
That's
side, yeah.
Listen, and they should be in the Premier League, yeah.
Probably based that on the
Waddle, the top 10 sort of Premier League team, the family stadium. I mean, semi-finals, bro.
The stadium's horrendous. The stadium.
It's old, but it's still there with it renovated. It'll still be up there. It's one of the stadiums that.
It was. It's probably not now.
That history. They've won FA Cups. They've won leagues. They've done all sorts.
Yeah, but like Portsmouth won FA Cups, which I've done in Premier League as well. Then.
Oh.
Portsmouth, they've won FA Cups.
Yeah, but they're not a bigger club than Wednesday, are they? League One, they won it quite recently.
Okay, Leicester are bigger club than Wednesday. You can't tell me that.
No chance.
What?
Leicester's not
Premier League.
a bigger club than Sheffield Wednesday. Nowhere near.
Oh my God!
Sheffield Wednesday season when the league.
It's not even that. Like in my lifetime, when I think he was classed as Division 1 at the Premier League, not done anything in my lifetime. That's their best season.
For a while, but they're still a club. Not a
Let's
move on. I'm telling you, 2-1 against Oxford. Favourites, Derby.
Another team that went Derby.
Totally wrong, Anna. You know what I mean? Fair play to Derby. You know what I mean? Here.
I was surprised. I was surprised you had Derby going. I reckon still that it really is.
It might be Phil's influence. I'm living in Nottingham. The reason I give it is because last season they had Paul Warne at the start of it. Really struggled. He would have got them relegated. They did the they got used to sin. They stayed up without being. And got Colton Morris in, I think they did, and is it Aggiman or whatever he's called? A couple of good signings, but not a bunch of signings. They didn't have loads of money to spend. I think, to be honest with you, this is on the manager. I think he's manager of the season for me, for what he's done with Derby. Because I would say he's probably got a bottom 5 budget at Derby.
Wow, okay.
Easily. So he has overachieved. I think he's manager of the season. Fair play to Derby. I got it wrong. And I actually do hope they can potentially get that last playoff spot. I'd sooner them get in the playoffs. They're another club, Derby County. I think Derby County are a Premier League team as well.
Okay. I think they're more a friendly side than Wednesday. I don't know. I mean, they get
the highest attendance average in the league as well at the minute. I think it's the highest attendance.
I'm going to say Derby's attendances are like 30,000. I mean, I don't know what Wednesday getting about 20,000 at the minute.
Is it? I think it's a bit more. Difference is though, Wednesday are paying probably double the price for.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, come on, and they've had about 30 odd points, 18 points deducted. Come on.
Yeah, they got 23,000 on Saturday against Charlton, which is pretty good.
In a nondescript game.
Yeah.
So yeah, what I'm saying is, Derby, well done. I'm going 1-0 Derby anyway. I think QPR was shit as well.
Yeah, obviously, again.
Could go at the trap as well. QPR.
Agreed. Yeah. I just gone 2-1. Same as you. I do think they're going to fall short of playoffs, I'm afraid. Like I said, they've got Norwich either tomorrow or Wednesday, and I think they'll lose that. Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. And I think next season they can just get the recruitment. I think they can become a playoff.
They need if they want to progress to the next level. I think
the only change there. You want to change it again?
Yeah, but he was never going to. It's totally wrong, but if I haven't fully looked at the sort of financials, but I would say Derby, I think probably in the bottom 6, bottom 7 for.
Okay.
So to say where they are, fantastic achievement. They shouldn't be having stage budget.
Exactly. Yeah.
Next, Sheffield United Preston.
So nice or not?
I said stuff nice about United all along. I was predicting them to sneak in the playoffs when they were third bottom.
You were too fair, yeah.
I said they've got the best squad in the league. I stand by that. I just don't think Chris Wilder's good enough to get them. I think you never go back out the second time. I don't think you'll get them promoted. But I just think that's a sale. However, they're playing Preston are awful. I think Preston next season, if they don't continue on the trajectory, they're going to be in a relegation battle next season. They're not in great form. Sheffield United, they're hit and miss at the minute, but I think they'll win the season 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree when you say the quality of squad, they should be higher up. They definitely should, and they probably should be in top 6 at least. To be fair, I mean they've won 2 in a row. But as you said, Lee, that they're quite inconsistent. I've gone for the win like you, not as big as your win. I mean, I think you're right. With him being inconsistent, you won't surprise you if they ended up losing or drawing this game. QPR again, and Preston. Again, I agree with you actually, Lee. They started the season really well, and I was really shocked at how well Paul Eckingbottom were doing there. But their second half of the season's performance has been atrocious. If they into next year, I think they will be near bottom. And I do. I'm with you, Lee. I think Preston will be in bottom 5 next year. Obviously, I don't mind Eckingbottom, but I think he's a bit overrated. Obviously, he did a good job at Sheffield United, but he had a good side there. He struggled a lot of other places, like Barnsley. When he was at Barnsley, he only did well there because he had a good side, I felt. He struggled at Leeds when he left for Leeds. I think Preston are in trouble, actually, and I think I will tip Preston next season to one of the favourites to go down.
Yeah, I agree with you. Stoke versus Portsmouth, 2-0 Stoke. Portsmouth, they're pretty, but yeah, Stoke, they're not. Looking at it, I mean, there's nothing really to play for. Stoke is 17th. I just think Stoke have got Portsmouth are better. I think, I'm going to go 2-0.
Yeah, I've gone similar to yourself. I'll start with Portsmouth, good side. They've beaten Ipswich Town 2-0, arguably the best side in the division, and they went away to Middlesbrough and won 1-0. I mean, that is incredible. If you told a Portsmouth fan you're going to get 9 points from them 3 games without conceding 1 goal,
they carried you away with that coach, man.
Exactly. I mean, I have to say, the Middlesbrough game, and this is where I do feel sorry for Middlesbrough. Have you seen the goals? Like the goals, right? Looking like Middlesbrough literally bombarding Ipswich. It's like bombarding Portsmouth. And I think Portsmouth break away, deflecting, going for Middlesbrough. He's done a good job. I can't remember his because this wins those good game. So they'll all go in half-heartedly.
The fact that it's Wrexham and it's all Hollywood FC will, for me, 2-0.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Again, I think they're going to get the win as well. Gone to the reason for the goals is recording Coventry. The last 3 or 4 weeks, I think the pressure from out, and that's what results in dwindle. 3. I just think the pressure's a performance. I think that's been lifted. They'll just go back to attacking that they've done all season. And Wrexham, if they win against Wrexham, in fact, if they win their next game, champion, play well, fully deserved, and good looking season.
Super, and that concludes our championship predictions. Longer than you, but some good content in there. Please like and share channels. Obviously, this on Miller's edition, but next be on the EFL channel. So please subscribe to the EFL channel as well. Established at that as well. So I'm Eastern Club. Thank you. Subscribe for what, guys.
Cheers all. Thanks.